Time to get the barn ready for some animals with the fourth wall. It's pretty windy today, so one of the building crews for the local barn company that originally built this barn, Cleary Building Corp, was actually able to put some time aside to start work on the fourth wall of our barn. Now, I haven't really done a barn walkthrough since we bought the property, but this was originally a barn used for a couple horses, some sheep, some odds and ends. It is electrified. It's of immense size, frankly, for what our needs are. It's going to be fantastic. It's got a 10 by 10 door at each end of the barn. There are definitely some maintenance related things that are going to be needed. And there is a lot of kind of leftover infrastructure from its prior use that wasn't really cleaned up before we moved in. So one of the things that we did with Cleary, and they were really great about this, we reached out to them and said, hey, look, this barn was built at a certain time, right? 2011, 2012. And first of all, could you find the plans, right? And they work with, and they said, yeah, we could definitely find the plans. What would you like to do? I mean, are you wanting some work done? And we said, well, we're moving in, and this was part of the property, part of the homestead that we're getting started, and we'd like to understand a little bit more about the building that we're purchasing. And actually, Cleary was fantastic about it. They went back in the archives, they found what was needed, they sent it to us. And a few days later, we reached out after Lauren and I kind of talked, and we said, well, to make it even more useful, kind of thinking ahead for dairy and just looking at wood prices and steel prices and stuff like that. I mean, none of that stuff is going down. It keeps only going up. So thinking about that, we just said, hey, how much would it be for you guys to put another wall on here? And then I looked out at Home Depot and BMC West and everything else and said, how much would it be for me to do myself? And to my surprise, they actually came back with a pretty good estimate. So we said, well, maybe we should look at doing it this year. And originally they were telling us it was going to take months to get around to being able to do it. But as you can see here, they actually were able to fit it into the schedule. This is kind of stage one. And then the wind did kind of increase too much to, really kind of finish it today. The automatic waterers, what we ended up doing is we knew we might want to have the flexibility for multiple types of animals. So we did kind of this offset door plan. I'm going to have to build the doors myself, not paying them to do the doors. But we've got 1, 2, 3, and then 4 doors that are separated by a fairly significant amount of space, I think about 16 feet. And then we skip a bunch of wall space to give ourselves the flexibility to do some storage or to park a tractor or just for some internal workspace, whatever we want to do. And then our thought was to be able to do a dairy room, maybe enclose a dairy room. We've got some thinking to do about how we want to do that, and frankly, some learning to do. That's an area that we're still learning about, as the specific bits and pieces that are going to help us maximize the space. But the electric's already here. We've got a frost-free pump over here, and they've got a washer and a dryer already out here in the barn. We need to, frankly, get rid of that and either put some more up-to-date, quote-unquote, junk appliances, or we need to choose to do something else with the space. But it's an amazing space. It's got plenty of flexibility for anything that we're going to end up needing to do. and it has not only the 110, but it also has 220. And I've got, as spring starts up, I've got some cleaning to do, and a few things that I'd like to inspect. I'd like to get some of this wall board down that they had, protecting against some of the critters that they had in here. And I'd like to do a little bit better job at fixing up some of the insulation, because this insulation's on the wall that leads to the insulated space that I kind of showed when we were doing the cat and cleaning up from the storm. But there's all kinds of stuff that we've imagined in here. Leave in the comments. What do you think we should do? What should we think about? How should we use this space? Let us know what you think below. So the following day, the team from Cleary came back and put the covering on the wall. You'll see that they used the same matching sheet steel, including the same coloring as the rest of the barn. Frankly, I think it turned out beautifully. Both Lauren and I really like it. I've still got to work on the doors. The doors were frankly very expensive if we asked them to do it. So if you know of a great door design for a 4x8 opening rough, let me know, and that'll be next.